right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow Pandemonium travelers, this is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown Day 208 by my count. As you can see, it's one of the original purposes of this project is traffic is returning normal. There's people in front of me. There are cars in front of me. That didn't used to be the case. Back when I took I-5 into the city, and then there were too many cars, so I switched back to Highway 99 to go into the city. And again, it's going to return to... It's going to return to normal, quote-unquote normal, and that normal was not great. In fact, it was pretty terrible. Traffic going into the city stole literally hours from my life because there was no flow, or the flow was terrible. I don't know. It will be what it's gonna be, and it's gonna be at least as bad as it was before, unless like significant numbers of people left the city. Oh, God, come on. Unless the traffic patterns change because a bunch. Oh, they're reopening that. Oh, interesting. Unless they're reopening, or unless people get back to work and go back to normal, then maybe like traffic will return to something like normal. But all these people who have left, and I just assume that it's been a lot of people. Based on the traffic patterns, like, this might be bad. Like, yeah, there's all these people in my way, and it's irritating. But, like, it used to, a year ago, I would have been stopped on this bridge. It would have been bumper to bumper parking lot on this bridge. And to get to the other side, you would just creep through traffic. It would take 45 minutes. I might be exaggerating, but I don't think I am. So life is returning to normal, I suppose. I mean, there's now more people driving. Now, on the one hand, again, that's a good thing. People are going about... What? Canlis Community College? What the hell was that? It's good for things to return to normal, even if it annoys me that there's more traffic, right? The more important thing, sad to say, the more important thing is it's better for there to be more people going about their business, and in some senses literally business, than it is for, me to have a really fast commute because there's nobody on the roads. And I want to say, people were joking that it's like I Am Legend out here, and I joked about it. Okay. I joked about it, but it was like the Omega Man out here, and there were times where I swear I was the only car on the road. And as fun as it is to drive on empty streets, it's actually very unsettling and unpleasant. In reality, it's very unsettling and unpleasant. So we're getting back to normal. I don't know what that means. I've said it before, like, we're going to hit some kind of... Oh, God. See, we're gonna... See, this this is part of that returning to normal thing. I didn't like this. I don't like it. Herald? A geoprism herald? What is that? What do you think you're doing? I see you. I see what you think you're doing. Man. What I said was going to happen is kind of just a general non-compliance, basically a whole bunch of people are going to just not comply anymore, and I don't quite know what it means. What it means is some people are going to like get caught and they're going to like get in trouble for their, for their poor behavior, their illegal, quote unquote illegal behavior, for opening their business. But look at all these people, okay? Like, I can pull up videos from like 3, 4, 5 months ago when there's nobody out here. And as far as I know, we've gone through some phases, but like, yeah, this is not phasing. This is not what this is. This is not phasing responsibly, quote unquote, through, to open things up, responsibly. This is just people going places and doing things. They're doing what they want. They're doing what they want. That's at least some subset of what is happening. Is people are just like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I want. And this is the thing, is that there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Like, let's say the state wants to enforce their lockdowns, right? Well, okay. That'll get, if somebody had the scratch, they would challenge it all the way to the Supreme Court. I mean, that's basically what would happen, right? And in the court of public opinion, at this point, after the rioting, after the looting, after the chaos, and then like the re-looting, you're gonna tell me you can't open your hair salon? Like, they would laugh in your face, and then if you tried to shut them down, they would go, yeah, nah, okay, yeah, you shut me down today, I'm coming back tomorrow, I'm gonna open the place up. And there's not really a solution for that. There really is not a solution for, again, large numbers of like businesses and people not complying. I mean, look at the riots, right? The rioting, the looting, the chavs. There's no solution for, clearly, hey, you stop doing that. we sort of tried that. It's called the Seattle Police Department, and they were not able to control that, so it became what it is. So when you start to get people just kind of like, again, just saying fuck it, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna open up. And what capacity at restaurants? This is one of these things where there's this bizarre sort of preference for public safety. I understand governors not wanting to be saddled with the body count. Like, you open too fast and this is all your fault. But like, there's other states that are open, and so if you don't have a major city, and then blah blah blah. But how are you going to enforce this, and how is this real life, right? Like, a business like a restaurant it's not operable. It's not viable at 50% capacity. It's only viable at 100% capacity. And even then, the margins can be razor thin in terms of paying staff and buying inventory and everything else. You can't just arbitrarily say, oh, well, restaurants need to operate at half capacity. Like, in Seattle, there are ramen places that have, like, a counter with 5 stools, and then there's like 8 tables. Okay, so half capacity. So they're gonna serve 4 bowls of ramen per hour, like, instead of like 20, because you've arbitrarily limited the number of place settings, or the number of, serving areas that are possible. And I mean, I understand we don't want a giant body count, because we said, oh yeah, go out, everything's fine. Maybe it's not fine, I don't know. Like, I feel like no one knows, but we're erring on the side of caution. And we're erring on the side of caution to the point of insanity. Like, if you think it's not safe to go out and sit down and eat dinner somewhere, then don't go out. Don't go out and eat dinner. I would much rather leave this to people in their individual capacity to make a threat assessment for their own selves, rather than the government doing something that is, again, this has to all be unconstitutional. The governors and stuff and everything, they do not have the authority to do what they've done. They just don't. This is all bizarre. This is all half our complicity. We're saying, oh yeah, there's a threat. Okay, we will comply with what's going on. But they don't have the authority to say, you have to stay home. You have to keep your business shut. They don't have the authority to do that. And it's bizarre to watch. It's bizarre to see. People kind of be like, oh, well, I guess it's, I'm being told to stay home. Oh, God. I'm being told to stay home. I'm being told I can't open my business, and I'm complying, and they literally can't do what they've been doing. It's really something. What else? I thought I already covered Amy Comey Barrett. It's just weird. We're still pretending. See, we're still pretending that we're in this, like, pandemic thing. Like, oh no, there's this pandemic going on. After all these months of looting and rioting, did we not see a spike as people basically moshed in the streets, and then the spike went down? Like, that's what happened. Like, there was a spike in cases of COVID, and then it went down. Because it only kills you if you have some kind of comorbidity. You're obese, you're old, you have some kind of other respiratory issue, you have, some kind of other organ issue, cancer, etc. So we're continuing to pretend like we need to play the biggest game of cooties ever. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I understand that there's like 200,000 people dead with COVID. Maybe from COVID, but dead with COVID. And I understand, America, the most cases in the world. You mean we've done the most testing, so we found the most cases in the world, and we also reported the most cases in the world. That's what happened, right? That doesn't mean we couldn't have done a better job. It doesn't mean that we couldn't have prevented deaths. But you have this bizarre notion that we're just going to not have any deaths from COVID. None. Until we have a vaccine or some nonsense. That's not real life. That's not real life. And that's why people are politicizing this, and they say that this whole kind of crisis is going to go away after the election. Now, I understand a little bit, being a little bit of a conspiracy theorist myself, that maybe that's what would happen. But if that's so, well, then put a pin in this. We'll circle back to it later. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.